Anakin Skywalker began his life in the harsh, sun-beaten deserts of the Outer Rim planet Tatooine. He was not born into a life of freedom or privilege. Instead, he and his mother, Shmi Skywalker, were slaves owned by a junk dealer named Watto. Despite the difficulties of his circumstances, young Anakin was a boy filled with incredible optimism and a deep, innate desire to help others. He possessed a brilliant mind for mechanics, able to build complex droids and even a pod racer from discarded parts. His dream was not just to win his own freedom, but to one day return and liberate all the slaves, a noble goal that spoke to the goodness within his heart from a very young age. His life took a dramatic turn with the arrival of a Jedi Master, Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon immediately sensed something extraordinary in the boy, a connection to the Force that was stronger than any he had ever encountered. The Force is an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us, penetrates us, and binds the galaxy together. Anakin's potential was so immense that it was believed he was the chosen one, a figure from an ancient Jedi prophecy destined to bring balance to the Force. This discovery set him on a path far away from the sands of Tatooine, offering a future he could have only imagined in his wildest dreams. Through a series of fateful events, including a thrilling victory in the Bunta Eve Classic pod race, Anakin won his freedom. However, this freedom came at a great personal cost. He had to leave his mother behind, a painful separation that would haunt him for the rest of his life. The promise he made to return for her was a heavy burden for a young boy to carry, and this first great loss planted a seed of fear within him. He was brought before the Jedi Council on Coruscant, the heart of the Galactic Republic, to begin his training, stepping into a much larger world filled with both incredible opportunity and hidden dangers. The Jedi Council was initially hesitant to train him. They sensed much fear in him, particularly his attachment to his mother. Jedi teachings emphasized letting go of personal attachments, as they could lead to fear, anger, and ultimately the dark side of the Force. Despite their reservations, Qui-Gon Jinn's unwavering belief in the boy, and later the agreement of his apprentice Obi-Wan Kenobi to take Anakin as his own Padawan learner, secured his place within the Jedi Order. Anakin Skywalker's journey to become a Jedi Knight had officially begun, a path that would forever alter the destiny of the galaxy. Under the mentorship of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker grew into a powerful and skilled Jedi Knight. His natural talent with the Force was undeniable, allowing him to master difficult techniques and lightsaber combat forms with remarkable speed. He was brave, often reckless, and his daring tactics earned him the nickname the Hero with No Fear during the Clone Wars, a massive galactic conflict between the Republic and a separatist movement. Anakin became a celebrated general, leading clone troopers into battle and achieving victory after victory. He was a beacon of hope for the Republic, and his bond with Obi-Wan grew from that of a master and apprentice into a deep, brotherly friendship. Despite his successes, a shadow of turmoil grew within Anakin. The strict rules of the Jedi Order often felt restrictive to him, especially the code forbidding personal attachments and romantic relationships. He had fallen in love with Padme Amidala, the former queen and now senator of Naboo, and they married in secret. This hidden love created a constant source of conflict and anxiety for him. He lived in fear of their relationship being discovered, which would mean his expulsion from the Jedi Order, the only life he had known since he was a boy. This secret life divided his loyalties and made him feel isolated from his fellow Jedi. His deepest fears were truly ignited by a series of powerful premonitions. He had visions of his mother suffering and upon returning to Tatooine, found her dying in a Tusken Raider camp. Consumed by grief and rage, he unleashed his power and slaughtered the entire tribe, a dark act that was his first significant step toward the dark side. Years later, he began having similar nightmares about Padme dying in childbirth. The memory of failing to save his mother intensified his terror of losing his wife, making him desperate to find any means necessary to prevent his visions from becoming a reality, no matter the cost. This desperation made him vulnerable to manipulation. Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, a seemingly kind political leader who had befriended Anakin, was secretly the Sith Lord Darth Sidious. Palpatine saw Anakin's immense power and his growing distrust of the Jedi Council. He preyed on Anakin's fears, promising him the power to save Padme from death. He told him stories of the dark side, suggesting it held abilities the Jedi considered unnatural. Palpatine positioned himself as the only one who truly understood Anakin's potential and his pain, slowly poisoning his mind against the Jedi Order and everything he once stood for. The final moments of Anakin Skywalker's fall were swift and tragic. Convinced that the Jedi were plotting to take over the Republic and that only Palpatine could save Padme, he made a terrible choice. During a confrontation between Jedi Master Mace Windu and Palpatine, Anakin intervened, helping the Sith Lord defeat Windu. At that moment, his allegiance shifted completely. Kneeling before Palpatine, he pledged himself to the dark side of the Force. He was stripped of his former identity and given a new name, a name that would soon be feared across the galaxy: Darth Vader. His transformation was now nearly complete. His first act as a Sith apprentice was a horrifying betrayal. Under Palpatine's command, Darth Vader led a legion of clone troopers into the Jedi Temple, the sacred home where he had been raised and trained. He ruthlessly carried out Order 66, the command to eliminate all Jedi, and personally struck down his former comrades, including the younglings. This monstrous act severed his final ties to the light. Afterward, he traveled to the volcanic planet of Mustafar to eliminate the last of the separatist leaders, believing his actions would bring peace and order to the new galactic empire, and most importantly, save his beloved Padme. On Mustafar, he was confronted by Obi-Wan Kenobi, who had learned of his terrible deeds. Padme had also come, pleading with him to turn away from the dark path he had chosen. In his paranoia and rage, Vader believed she had betrayed him, and he used the Force to choke her, causing the injury that would indirectly lead to her death. This led to an epic and heartbreaking lightsaber duel between Vader and Obi-Wan, two men who were once like brothers. The battle ended with Vader being severely wounded, left dismembered and burning on the banks of a lava river. His former master, heartbroken, left him for dead. Palpatine, now the Emperor, found his apprentice and saved him from the brink of death. Vader's ruined body was encased in a suit of black armor and a terrifying breathing mask, a mobile life support system that would keep him alive. The man known as Anakin Skywalker was gone, consumed by his own hatred and loss. When Vader awoke in his new form and learned that his actions had caused Padme's death, the very thing he had turned to the dark side to prevent, his last remaining shred of humanity seemed to vanish. He was now fully trapped, a powerful and fearsome enforcer of the Emperor's will. For over 2 decades, Darth Vader served as the Emperor's Iron Fist, a symbol of the Galactic Empire's terrifying power. He commanded the Imperial fleet, hunted down the remaining Jedi survivors, and crushed any signs of rebellion. His towering presence, deep mechanical breathing, and mastery of the dark side made him one of the most feared figures in the galaxy. He was a relentless and seemingly unstoppable force of evil, a dark lord who appeared to have no trace of the good man he once was. He was a master tactician and a deadly warrior, responsible for countless atrocities in the name of the Empire, fully embracing his role as a Sith Lord. His path took an unexpected turn when he encountered a new hero of the Rebel Alliance, a young pilot from Tatooine named Luke Skywalker. Vader became obsessed with finding this boy, especially after Luke managed to destroy the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star. During a climactic duel in Cloud City, Vader revealed a shocking truth. He was Luke's father. He hoped to turn Luke to the dark side so they could overthrow the Emperor and rule the galaxy together. Luke refused, choosing to sacrifice himself rather than join his father, a decision that planted a seed of conflict within Vader for the first time in years. This internal conflict grew as he continued to pursue his son. Luke, in turn, refused to give up on him, sensing that there was still good left in his father. In their final confrontation aboard the second Death Star, Luke surrendered to Vader, hoping to turn him back to the light. He fought his father not with anger, but with a plea to remember the man he used to be. As the Emperor tortured Luke with Force lightning, urging Vader to watch his son die, Vader was faced with a choice. He could remain loyal to his Dark Master, or save the son who still believed in him. In a final act of redemption, Darth Vader chose to save Luke. He grabbed the Emperor and threw him down a reactor shaft, absorbing the full force of the Emperor's deadly lightning in the process. This act of self-sacrifice destroyed his life support suit but fulfilled the ancient prophecy. By destroying the Sith, he brought balance to the Force. As he lay dying, he asked Luke to remove his mask, wanting to look upon his son with his own eyes. Anakin Skywalker returned in those final moments, a father saved by his son's unwavering love. His story, a tragic fall and a powerful redemption, remains the central heart of the Star Wars saga, a timeless tale of hope and the enduring conflict between light and dark.